Good evening and welcome to my kitchen. Today I am going to show you how I eat, what I eat to look great year round. This is me. This is what I look like every single day, most days. And I don't track a single calorie. I have no idea of how many calories I eat on a single day. All I know is that I eat lovely food that tastes great, that fills me up and doesn't make me bingy. That was something I used to struggle with as well. I used to eat a lot of processed stuff, a lot of like quick eats, a lot of high protein, low carb stuff that never really fueled me, and it would cause me to obsessively snack, binge eat, have food noise all the time. So this stuff is actually filling, it's full, and it keeps me satiated, so I don't want to binge and lose all control around food. Now, what are we making today? Good question. We are making sweet potatoes with a lot of veg, three different veggies, and mincemeat, which is in the fridge. The reason I haven't got the mincemeat out and I've just got the veggies out right now is because we are training in the gym in like 30 minutes and I've got a client call in 5 minutes. So I just thought, hey, I'll whack the camera out, I'll quickly dice the potatoes. Don't know if I'll put them in the oven, but I'll quickly dice the potatoes. I don't know if it's too sensible to leave the house with the oven on. My mum would have probably said no to that if she was here right now. She's alive, but she's just not here in Australia. So yeah, it's been a long day, wow. Where am I going with this? Yeah, I'm gonna cut up these potatoes, and I just thought I'd turn the camera on and talk to you whilst I cut up the potatoes. So let's cut up some potatoes, I guess. You can see me, can't you? Yeah, cool. So, God, I feel like I'm on a first date. What do I tell you? How was my day? My day was good. I've got this knife that has a bend in it because I was trying to open a tuna can and I don't have a tin opener until the other day, where I do now have a tin opener. I haven't used it, as you can see. So yeah, that's why I've got a bent knife. One of my biggest fears is like getting stabbed. I don't think I'd ever get. I'm just not that kind of guy that's gonna find myself in a situation of getting, but God, it does scare me, man. Like, and oh, what it would feel like. Oof. Anyway, how do I make sweet potatoes? What I like to do is oven bake potatoes. I just think they come out so much nicer, and I don't have an air fryer, that's why. So this is like a virgin olive oil spray, it's just a normal one. Again, I used to be someone that was like, has to be the low calorie version, all this. It really doesn't, guys. It doesn't add too much from a calorie point of view if you know you're doing the basics really well. Like if you're not excessively snacking, if you're having balanced meals every single day, 3 times a day, you're doing the right things, man. You really are. I need to be mindful that I've got this call in 1 minute. So let me quickly dice these potatoes as quick as possible. And I'm just gonna dice them in 2, like this, because they're only small. And I feel like with sweet potato, it's really nice when you're able to like kind of get the insides of the sweet potatoes too, and it becomes like a bit of a mashy type vibe. These potatoes as well, these are imperfect potatoes from Coles, and what that means is they're like half the price because they're just like all weirdly shaped, but that doesn't matter to me, you know. I don't care about size and shape, it's what's inside that counts, you know what I mean? I'm that kind of guy. Sweet potatoes versus normal potatoes, that's another good question, thank you for asking. Sweet potatoes, a bit more fiber. I actually don't know about calories. They probably have I think sweet potatoes have more calories, and they have way more fiber though, which is really important in just terms of satiety. And in my opinion, they taste better. That's why I'm eating them, because they taste better, right? At the end of the day, and they make me feel good. So that's how I make my food choices. Does it make me feel good, and does it taste good? That's how I make, like something like yochi, right? Yochi makes me feel good in the moment. A lot of times it doesn't make me feel good post the next day. So I only have it once a fortnight, you know, once a week, once a fortnight, right? I don't have it every single day. Something like beef, you know, that makes me feel good in the moment. It's tasty. It also, you know, is good for my body in general. So I can have it every single day, right? That's how like simple it is to make these kind of decisions. We inherently know what we should be eating and what we shouldn't be eating in my eyes, and we just need to trust in that we're making the right choices. But these are the potatoes. Let me just give them a bit of a spray. Again, I'm not going to put them in the oven now, so it doesn't really matter for me to do this, but I'm just going to quickly salt and pepper them, just so you know that I season my potatoes. A bit of this, and then we need to jump on a client call because I'm 2 minutes late for my client call, and I'm gonna blame you guys. I'm gonna blame YouTube as the reason. Anyway, I'm gonna check back in later tonight when I do the rest of this, and yeah, see you then.
3 hours later.
We have just wrapped up that client call. We're gonna head up to the gym now, but I just wanted to share where that client's at. Really cool. He is 9 months in, lost 6 or 7. I cannot not do that thing anymore. Let's just say he's lost 7 kilos in 9 weeks. Awesome dude. Just, yeah, someone that when I met him 10 weeks ago, used to binge eat multiple times a week, and just in this last 2 to 3 months, hasn't even had a thought about it. So it's just ridiculous how powerful coaching can be in that respect. And kind of plugging myself here, I do know, but if you are someone that does struggle with binge eating, I really want to stress that it can be such a simple fix, and it requires just a few little tweaks. And if you've been just feeling like you're going in circles with it for so long and you don't know how to fix it like I did, I know how to fix it. Like, I'm so good at helping people with this, repairing their relationship with food, so they stop binging, they start losing weight, they start, again, just being so happy with where they're at. And yeah, I'm so keen to talk to you if that's you. Yeah, I always have like an interest form in my bios on Instagram, TikTok, on YouTube even. So even on like the description of this video, go fill out that form if that's you, and we'll have a conversation. We can talk about it. All right, we are back from the gym, and had a nice arm session, upper body session. We're gonna chuck in the sweet potato now. I also got a Slurpee from 7-Eleven. So rogue, I know, but it was just like that spur of the moment want. It's like, why not? Yes, I'm gonna cook the sweet potato now, but what I will say is that I'm actually not gonna eat sweet potato tonight. I'm instead going to have normal potato, which I actually made a while ago. Like, God, bro, probably like 4 or 5 days ago, I think it's okay, but it smells all right. I think I'll be okay. So I was just picking up potato that I dropped on the floor. But let's get all of this done. I'm like wanting to eat, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm in that mood where, that's why I'm having the real potato, not the sweet potato right now. Because I just can't be asked to wait an hour for sweet potato. I really can't. So it's the same premise. We're having, you know, a carb sauce in potato, but it's just not sweet. Let's talk a bit about how I actually construct meals, because I feel like that's probably why you're here, ultimately, you as the viewer. And how I do it is using something called portion-based eating. It is a technique that essentially allows us to look at food in a lens of portions, hence the name, instead of calories. And what we're trying to do is craft each meal with a protein source. Here's my protein source, beef mince. We're trying to craft a meal with a fiber source, in my case, broccoli, green beans, spinach, or this is rocket, arugula, as you guys call it over here. A carbohydrate source, which is potatoes in this case, but like I said, also have some sweet potato here. And then a fat source. Now, I will be clear that sometimes you won't get all 4 of these in, and sometimes it's going to be more heavily focused on one area, and that depends on your goal. So in this case, I don't have a designated fat source. I could add some avocado, but the thing around beef mince is it's not a very lean protein source, right? Something like chicken is gonna have a lot less fat than something like beef mince. So I just kind of group it together and I say, well, hey, we got the fat through the beef mince, so I'm not gonna add any extra fat in there. Like, I don't really want it, don't really need it, so I'm just not gonna add it. But that is the general premise. And depending on your goals, you'll adjust these portions. So for example, if I was a endurance athlete, which I'm not, but if I was, then I would be probably having more carb dominant meals, right? I'd be having carbs, 2 portions worth of carbs comparative to protein and fiber and fats. If I'm someone that maybe is trying to lose weight, I'm going to prioritize maybe fiber, for example, alongside protein, because these are really good with satiety and keeping us fuller for longer. If I'm someone that's trying to gain some muscle, get some gains, then I'm going to prioritize protein, because again, it's going to be really important in terms of building and retaining muscle. So it's all dependent on what your goal is, and it's just such an awesome framework, an awesome system. Funny enough, it was actually what I used to finally end my binging trip, because For me, binge eating was something that came from tracking every single calorie and becoming very obsessive with numbers. So once I kind of took the numbers away, I was able to look at food in a different lens. And this all or nothing kind of like very irrational mindset still affects me today. Like, I kid you not, in my own business, I really struggle with tracking finances and tracking data because, again, it just puts me in this state of action paralysis, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I outsource the task. I literally have a virtual assistant who does all the data, and I'm now even asking her to, I'm going to ask her to track my finances for me because, again, it's just, I'm really good at doing the basics really well, do stuff very, very well, but when it comes to just like data and tracking and all the more like complex stuff, my brain doesn't like it. So I play to my strength and I try to reverse engineer where I can. And I know what my triggers are, so I don't allow myself to, get triggered, should we say. But what else can I talk to you about? Or maybe do I just pause here and enjoy the rest of my podcast and cook dinner in the background? I think I'm going to do that. I'll show you what I'm doing, what podcast I'm actually listening to. It's a bit stupid, I can't lie. It's one with KSI and his friend called Alhan. It's quite funny. I used to listen to the Sidemen and watch the Sidemen growing up, and I still watch them today, to be fair. It's like, I absolutely love KSI, man. He's just so funny. So I'm going to watch that for the next kind of 10-20 minutes. I've got like 5 minutes worth of recording on this. So I'm going to show you kind of the finished product once we're done. But basically, like, all I'm going to do, bro, is just add veggies to this. Once the meat has been browned and cooked, I'm then going to season by adding one of these seasoning packets, and that's it. Like, it's so simple, and that's gonna make me like 5 meals. So yeah, it's just like, it's so simple. Like, it is so simple. It's not easy because everyone overcomplicates it, but it truly is like that simple. Arugula, finishing off with a bit of this. Alright, so we're pretty much finished. We just microwaved up the potatoes. So you see here, right? Like, the easiest way to understand how to do this, right? Portion-based eating is, yes, you want like a portion of carbs, a portion of fats. You can look at it in a visual sense as well. And what you want is your protein and fiber to basically take 2/3 of the plate or the bowl, whatever it is, and then your carbohydrates to take 1/3 of that. So you can see here, like, we are creating that kind of diagram in a way, that pie chart, because the mince and the fiber for the veggies is going to come and sit itself in that hole there. How this kind of works as well is, like, you can also use your hand. So back in the day when I was first understanding how this kind of actually operated, we used to use the hand technique. So portion-based eating and the portion size of it can actually be kind of put to your hand. So protein is going to be a palm worth. So think of it as like, right, that's my meat sauce, I'm gonna have 1 palm worth of that. My fat sauce is gonna be a thumb's worth. Carb sauce is gonna be a cupped hand. And then a fiber sauce is gonna be a fist. And what you're noticing is, like, obviously, thumb is very, very different to the size of your palm. And what it does is it promotes the palm and protein, and it promotes fiber. And has a moderate amount of carbs, small amount of fats. And that's because relative to calories in protein and fiber and carbs, fats and carbs, sorry, should I say, is going to be relative to how many calories are in that exact food group. So fats, for example, have way more calories per gram than protein does, or carbs do, for example. They're also going to impact the body differently. Again, protein and fiber are going to help from a satiety point of view in comparison to carbohydrates, which is going to be more for energy, fats, which is going to be more for hormonal balance. So it's a really, really intelligent framework and method. And again, I'm more than happy to kind of send it over to whoever's looking for it. I don't know if I'll put it in the bio itself, like the description of this video, but more than happy if you guys want to shoot me a message on Instagram and just comment, like, send me a DM saying, can I have the guide? Can you teach me about portion-based eating, whatever? More than happy to send that across because I really think you'll benefit from it. Anyway, I would say that our meat is done. So let's tally this up and let's finish up. Let me bring you in. Come into my kitchen. Alrighty, so literally good spoon or two here, because again, what I'm trying to do is 2 palms of protein, 2 fists of fiber, because again, I'm trying to retain my muscle. Do you know what I mean? So, and up. So yeah, that is that. It is real simple. That is that. We've got our carb source there, fats, fibers, and proteins through the mints as well as the veggies. Got some sweet chili sauce, which we're gonna add into it as well because it is a beautiful thing of life. Again, just enjoying it, man. Like, put it on a bit, not going too crazy. And then some salt as well. Again, nice bit of salt. If you're doing a lot of endurance activity, if you're moving your body a lot, salt is something you should have more of, not less of. Replenish the lost sweat. That is it. That is exactly the type of meal I eat on a day-to-day basis to look super and yeah, do it all without counting a single calorie. So if you want to learn how to do that, again, shoot me the message. I can send over that guide, but hopefully this video gives you all the info that you actually need. I'll see you in the next one.